And our main topic here today on Mastering Dungeons, we are going to continue our look at one on one play, solo play by some definitions, and looking at this topic of one on one play through the lens of the Baker's Dozen adventure from the Dragon Delves hardcover from Wizards of the Coast. So, to set the stage, if you haven't seen the previous two episodes, go watch those and come back. What we're doing is we're taking the concept of one-on-one play as it was described in this book and seeing if it worked. And then doing an actual play of Teos playing and me game mastering to test that theory out. So the first episode was sort of setting the scene, doing some role playing. The second episode was actually getting to the main adventuring site and running some D&D. And what we
Combat.
learned, spoilers, is that the way it was described in the book definitely does not work.
No.
We sort of knew it wouldn't, but we
Yeah.
didn't want to prejudice ourselves, so we tried to run it strictly as written, making the changes that Wizards of the Coast through in the book had decided to suggest. And what we have learned is it's not enough.
No.
What Wizards of the Coast through this book says is if you want to play a solo adventure, run this adventure, give the character 30 extra hit points or 30 temporary hit points at third level. What else was suggested in the
Heroic Inspiration, I think, is it. And then you decided to give me a legendary resistance type saving throw because I might get, locked down, and then that's the end. But what we found in those combats, those combats are not scaled. And so the number of creatures is made for, 4 to 6 players. I'm just one player. 30 temporary hit points doesn't fix that survival wise. And you were kind of nice to me. You went with the one guy goes and messes with you at a time. Even though they had pack tactics and things like that, and the bugbear missed with its grab, so I got lucky. But those fights mathematically don't work, right? The number of hit points of damage they do, the number of times I have to hit to deal damage, even with good attacks, it just doesn't line up. Or at least even if I survived it, I don't think it would have been very good play. Right. I think I calculated it would take 6 rounds for me using my normal attack to be able to do enough damage to bring them down. And it's all the characters in that second combat, the monsters in that second combat, and that's just who wants to do that?
Yeah. Now this adventure was written for third level characters, right? You are playing a third level death cleric.
Yeah.
And so I want to talk then about one-on-one play, just generically for a second. It seems to me with the difficulty of maintaining groups, finding people to play, enhancing and adjusting for one-on-one play or very small group play would be something that Wizards of the Coast would want to invest some more time and more energy in supporting.
Yeah.
I can understand as a designer the idea that maybe you wrote these and then someone said, hey, we should do something for one-on-one play. Okay, let's just put this in here without actually even if you thought it through, maybe it was, oh, it's too late, we don't have the time, let's just ship it as is. And I get that things like that happen. The question that I would ask next is it worthwhile to continue to try to support this play with the understanding that it's not something that you would want to make a whole book of just one-on-one adventures? Probably. Maybe it is, maybe not. I don't know. But it might be worth it to do something that would allow one player and one character and one game master to utilize content without the game master having to do too much work. Would
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
something that you think is true?
I think that's all true. Um, I can be a little harder on wizards here because I think that there's no question that they are capable enough designers that they should have looked at this and said, this just doesn't seem to work. And because that's the reaction you and I had, right? When we heard, I think it was James Wyatt describing like, the approach. I mean, I'm just like, temporary hit points? Like, there's an action economy. Like, we've run so many boss encounters on the flip side to see that when all the monsters are around the boss has to be built a certain way for that to work. And the math has to be extrapolated a certain way that's very difficult. It strains the system. And so single player is the same way. And just giving them double hit points essentially, that's not how the game's math works. We know enough about it to know. And so I know these designers would have known this. And so to me, it speaks about that kind of process issue, right? Where, yeah, and I think even James White in an interview may have said that later in the process when this idea came in, and it's a great idea, but you should be willing to do the work. And there should be enough communication that designers could say, hey, this isn't going to work like this, right? And that isn't a problem for your career. In fact, it should be something everybody celebrates. Like, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Let's dig into this. We want our products to be the best in the industry. Let's go. Let's fix this. This to me, this is bad because it does a disservice. If some DM, like I'm getting constant comments on my starter set videos from people who've never run the game before, never played before, and are really, they're so keen on making this work. And so I can just imagine if they pick up this book and think that my buddy and I can just play through this, and then they have a terrible experience. Like, better not to offer it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, not going to argue there. Uh, so obviously, one-on-one play can be handled through changing the way you build encounters,
Mhm.
changing the way you build the adventures. But it does then take some experience in creating encounters and adventures in the first place. That you've done it for a larger group, now you know how to do it for a smaller group or for one person. Uh, so one-on-one play, though, in 5e needs to be more about the story than about the rules, I think.
Yeah.
It sort of changes the way that you as the player and you as the game master would interact with each other and with the game. However, the rules still need to be followed. Otherwise, you're not playing 5e
Right.
D&D,
Yeah.
you're playing something else. Uh, one of the comments or several of the comments we got were like, well, use companions. Obviously, that is an easy fix to a point, but still, even if you give one companion, you're still only one and a half players
Yeah.
or characters against what should be for four or five.
Yeah.
And that also adding these companions or adding NPCs adds to the load that the DM has to take on, or even that the player
Yeah.
has to take on that they might not want to. So if either or both want that to take on that load, great. Personally, I don't, as the game master, want to have to worry about running an NPC
Mhm.
or running a companion to help the player. And as the player, I don't want that either. I want to play my character. So I want something other than that to be the example.
Yeah, companions in fourth edition were very different. They were more like a monster stat block, right? So they were pretty simple to run, pretty easy. They had one or two tricks, maybe some little special thing that in a certain circumstances kicks in, reaction type thing. In fifth edition, the design went back and forth, but the kind of two versions we really saw, they try to really feel like characters, and that is good because you're representing the game, but it means that, like you said, they take that work to run, and so then you end up with what is essentially your second character. And like, let's say you're playing a rogue, you probably want to complement with something else. Maybe you chose a caster, and now you've got to know all of these spells, and so it is a lot more work. Also, companions are technically 2014, not
Mm-hmm.
2024, so they
Yeah.
there's that issue. um what is nice about the reason why companion characters are a great fix is because it's the same reason for multi-tack on monsters. When you're rolling a single d20 or there's a single spell that someone has to save against, you've got that full spread of the d20, right? 5% chance for each of those things to happen. And that means that you can very easily end up with just bad luck 4 or 5 times in a row. And if you are the only character with bad luck 5 times in a row, well, you're dead, or the game is really disappointing. Having more roles in the form of more characters normalizes the effect. That's why having a good sized party is so important. And so, how do you make up for that? And there are design constraints to it, but as you said, it becomes a project, and it is work. You could also do things on the scaling side, right? I mean, when you have one character, you no longer need 4 candy cane toughs that are, gingerbread toughs that are coming at you. Just one tells the story okay. But you have to think through that and play test that to say, was the experience okay? Because I can make the combat easier and shorter, but maybe the excitement's a little lower when I'm just one character. And again, you have that spike of if I roll poorly 5 times in a row. But you could make that interesting. Like maybe you could, do something in the room that exists only when you're solo. It's really tough, right? And that's where I think if you look at the best DMs Guild releases that are for one-on-one play, they are written intently for that, to make this kind of interaction rewarding. And what's interesting to me is credited in this adventure is Anthony Joyce Rivera, and he has written solo or one-on-one adventures. And so my guess is, he had probably done his assignment before they did this. And if they'd done it at the beginning, it gets back to that project management thing. Anthony probably could have presented some nice ways to handle this.
Yeah. And as Teos said, and as I said earlier, changing the adventure is one way to do it. But we don't necessarily want to buy a product that is all just one-on-one encounters from Wizards of the Coast. So we need to find a way to take that one character and have them be able to play the adventure that's also written for 4 characters. And so that's what I want to look at next, because that action economy is the most important thing. A simple solution is to make that economy more like a regular 5e game. You give the character more actions, you let the characters go more often. For me, this is preferable to adding NPCs or companions, because that lets the player be more of a player, let the DM focus on the DM side of things, let the hero do more heroic things that would be important. And then if you do that, the temporary hit points suggested by the adventure helps make up for that other side of the deficit, which is the focus fire problem. No one else is absorbing any of this damage. And that's why I also added this legendary resistance option in case the focus fire also leads to an unfortunate saving throw failure, which sends everything out of whack. And I would even go so far as to say maybe 1 legendary resistance use per long rest per tier of play. So if you're at levels 1 to 4, you get 1 per long rest. Levels 5 or 5 to 10, 2, etc. And obviously the class and the build and the level of the solo character is going to change the way things work. A solo barbarian will have one set of issues. A solo warlock may have another set of issues. And so will the play style in the game master, right?
Yeah.
Does the game beg for lots of combat? Do we want to play something where we're constantly fighting?
Right.
Well, that means you're going to have to do things one way. Whereas if you want the character to be cautious, to look for every opportunity to avoid combat, to gather allies or find alternative solutions to problems, then you're going to design differently.
Yeah.
And again, we might not want that. The game master, if they're experienced, can always do that. So this leads me into, and we haven't talked about this yet, Teos. So going forward, this is what I would like to do. When we're in combat, you get 2 actions per turn instead of 1.
Okay.
And when you roll initiative, if you roll a 10 or less, you're going to add 10, and you're going to get 2 turns per round.
Gotcha. At
if
2
you
different
roll
points,
an 11 or higher for initiative, you subtract 10, and you will still get 2 turns. So you would, if you rolled an 11, you would go on 11 and 1. If you rolled a 3, you would go on 13 and 3. And then when you do take a turn, you get 2 actions, not 2 movements, not 2 bonus actions, but 2 actions. Sound good?
Is that on each of the 2 turns?
On each of the 2 turns.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
playing more like I were 2 characters. Yeah.
You're playing like you're 2 characters that can both take 2
2
actions.
actions. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Love it. Love it.
So
Yeah. So there's a lot
what we're
flatter
looking
curves
for,
here comparatively. I love it.
we're testing a system.
I
Don't
love
know
it.
if it's going to work. I
Yeah.
already have a lot of corner cases I know aren't going to work, but
Uh-huh.
we're going to test this. So this will give you 4 actions per round,
Yep.
as if you were 4 characters.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 bonus actions per round, and 2 movements per round.
Nice. All right.
And your reactions, of course, will reset
Mm-hmm.
at the start of any of the turns.
Yep. Okay. Great.
Sound
Love it.
good?
I love it.
All right. So let's move over to the map
Yeah. I've got that up.
where you have
Boom, boom.
to reset the story. You came into the town, and I've already lost track of what town you were in. So that's
Yep.
good. It's like Hobbleton, I think. Uh,
I believe
when you
you.
came into town, you saw a building was on fire, and you ran in and you rescued a candy maker named
Yeah.
Edith. This elderly halfling woman thanked you and told you the story of her brother who was lost in a nearby forest when they were children. Edith doesn't remember what happened. She was able to come out, though, and her brother remained lost.
Yeah.
So over the years, Edith has become a candy maker. You found a burnt cinnamon roll at the scene, which sent you to the bakery of Phil Flowerforge,
Mm.
a master baker who makes wonderful cinnamon rolls. At the baker shop, you learned that the baker was keeping in his shop a wormling gold dragon that Phil had found when he was an adventurer and thief. The egg that he found hatched, he was raising this gold dragon wormling. Um, the fire from the dragon's breath was the secret behind the wonderful baked goods and pastries that Phil made.
I love that.
And Phil believes that the gold dragon wormling by the name of Brioche Bane may have inadvertently thought that Phil was jealous of the success of the candy shop that had opened within the last couple
Uh-huh.
months. And that Brioche Bane went, set the place on fire, and then got scared and flew off into the forest, where it would sometimes go to seek solitude.
Love it.
So Phil asked you and gave you a bunch of cinnamon rolls as a
Mhm.
both a thank you and as an enticement to Brioche Bane to come back.
Yeah.
So off you trotted into the forest where you found a candy lined trail that led to a house made totally of candy.
Now I got a question as a kind
Yes.
of player slash designer. I was told kind of repeatedly by people in town how dangerous the forest was, but then I just
Yes.
got to the cottage. Is that kind of as written?
That is as written.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It was sort of a little like, oh, I got here. Like, okay. But I guess the
Yep.
danger is the cottage. So I guess that's probably why. That's fine.
So far, that seems to be the only danger you run into.
Danger
And
enough.
obviously, at the forest or at the cottage, lots of strangeness. Uh,
Yeah.
Bugbears making taffy, gingerbread men who are watching over a caged skeleton that had
Mm-hmm.
obviously died, and a bubblegum boy who told you that his name is Asger, which
Yeah.
is the name of the boy that was lost like decades ago
Yeah. Edith's
in
brother.
the forest.
Yeah.
Asger is a boy, a bubble boy. Edith, his sister, is an old elderly halfling woman.
Right.
So
That's
they're
kind of,
both halflings.
yeah. I'm a little worried that I'm going to get turned into Candy Grom.
Yep. And do you want to introduce your character quickly
Sure.
for those who missed previous episodes?
Yeah, Grom Two Eyes is a half orc death cleric. He is forever caught between worlds of his righteous father who was a human and his differently righteous family on the orc side, especially grandma, who teaches a lot about kind of herbal remedies, but involving entrails, and very, very happy to, go raid whatever villages are nearby. And so Grom has been trying to figure out what the world really is, get away from his parents, to try to figure out what his own course will be. So Grom is a little rough around the edges, despite technically being a noble in background. It's more half orc, orc noble. And Grom doesn't entirely know who he worships either. He knows it's not Grimsh, the One Eye, but it is some entity of death and or rebirth, and so that's where he draws his power from.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And when we last left you, you had just defeated the gingerbread men. You were a little worse for wear, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so I am at so I still have all of my hit points, but I have only 13 temporary hit points remaining. So I've lost from those 30 temporary hit points, I'm down 17, which is solely due to your kindness. It could have been a lot worse. But yeah, I'm a little. Grom's not really the cautious type, but he knows that there's more danger in the air.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing for spell slots as a cleric?
Oh, terribly. I have one level 1 left, and I have one level 2 left. I did get to crit on the 2014 version of inflict wounds, which was delicious. But I'm down a fair bit in terms of what I can do otherwise. So probably I'll be using my mace or my chill touch or my toll the dead from here on out because of that. Until the big battle. Awesome. Until I find the villain behind this.
That's right. So you can see yourself on the map. Yes.
Yep, I can.
All right. And Asger is with you now, who tells you that that he was put down here by Uncle Nibblecheeks. Okay. Uncle Nibblecheeks. Asger would help Uncle Nibblecheeks make candy, but finally Asger made so many mistakes that Uncle Nibblecheeks got very upset with him, turned him into bubblegum, and stuck him in a cage. It's been a few days. Mr. Jellybean, the skeleton in the other cage, was alive when Asger first came here, but didn't do so well.
Wow.
Afterward.
Does Asger remember why Nibblecheeks was doing all this? Like, is it because he loves kids and wants to give them candy? Is it some more nefarious plot?
Oh, he just really likes making and eating candy. Okay. He likes it so much that he turns everything he touches into candy and then eats it.
Ooh. Oh.
I imagine he's going to chew me out pretty good one day.
Blow bubbles with you. But isn't this like really bad? Like you don't have freedom.
No. I've been here as long as I can remember, though. I don't really know anything else.
It's time to change that. I need to put on my Grom voice. It's time to change that, my friend. You and I together. It's freedom time.
Well, you said you know my sister.
Yeah, we got to get you to her. I mean, it's up to you. I could go back the way I came, and it's pretty easy for you to run out the door and head through the forest to get home. But the thing is, you do look different than you did before, so it's like, maybe they will have some trouble recognizing you, or you could come with me.
I'm a little pinker than I was. I probably should stay with you. The forest might be dangerous.
Yeah, you do smell.
I'm probably tasty. Pretty delicious too.
Yeah, no, you smell great. But I'm known for my restraint.
He nods. Oh, good.
Can I prevent myself? Let's just roll a d20. Let's just roll a random d20.
He really does smell delicious. You could get the sense of, like cinnamon.
Oh, geez. I just rolled a 3. Yeah. So I lick him. I can't help myself.
I'm sorry. Please don't.
Sorry.
Please don't do
No,
that.
no, I
That
slapped myself.
burns. It burns, and you can see like
Oh,
your saliva wearing away a little bit of his bubble skin.
oh, I feel very bad. Is he like damaged, hurt? Does he need healing?
No, no, no,
Okay.
not that. But your saliva is a little bit acidic, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is bubble gum, so it doesn't last forever unless you eat it. Then it stays in your stomach forever, according to my mother.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's probably all true.
it's got to be.
Yeah. All
All right.
right.
So there's a door. There's the ladder you came down, and then
Mhm.
there's a doorway leading out.
Okay. Awesome. I think we should go through the doorway into this kind of underground area and
Okay,
see kind of, yeah, what we can
I
figure
am
out.
going to erase the fog of war to reveal a passageway that leads forward, and
Ooh,
then a little passage here that has a door. And if you continue, you see that there is a stairway leading up at the end of the corridor.
sweet. Oh, and I don't remember if there's any loot here. I'll take, this dude loves candy, so I'll take all the fragments of the candy cane shards,
Okay.
put those in my
Yep.
bag.
They were hitting you with candy canes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll take all the chunks of that.
Okay.
And then I will, kind of proceed up. Does Asper know what's in this behind this first door?
No, I don't. When Uncle Nibblecheeks brought me down, I saw that door, but he just threw me in the cage here. He didn't say
Yeah.
anything about it.
I say something about being important to not get distracted, and then I go over to the door and open it.
Very, very important to not get distracted as you get distracted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You open that doorway. I will reveal the room.
Ooh. Oh.
And again, we're using D&D Beyond maps. And I am not an expert with this. I've studied it for all of about 10 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
but this adventure came pre-loaded when I bought it on D&D Beyond. So I am making use of that. All right. So you see in front of you a room. It looks like a tomb containing a sarcophagus made of hard candy. Two statues formed of crystalline sugar and coconut stand on either side of the sarcophagus amid a trove of gold coins and other precious objects. An inscription on the wall above the sarcophagus reads, "May death curse all who interrupt my rest."
But I'm kind of like death, so maybe it's okay.
Mhm.
Let me see. Do I have any special abilities to do anything? I don't think. Yeah, I got rid of all my. I don't have divination stuff in this version of my character.
Mhm.
Um, well, I'm gonna try to see if I can sense any magics that are active. Can I make an Arcana check of some sort to just get a vibe
Sure.
check here?
Give me an Arcana check.
Woo! All right, I got a 12.
So
That's a
we
success in Pirate
definitely
Board.
we definitely sense some magic coming from both the statues and the sarcophagus.
Mm, mm. Okay, but the coins are safe then. Yeah, Grom has poor impulse control. Who am I kidding? So I'm going to. Okay, tell me again what the writing on the wall says.
May death curse all who interrupt my rest.
Okay, so I'm gonna sneak in because I don't want to wake them up, and I'm gonna just kind of
Okay.
go over to this closest pile of treasure.
All right. You can look at that treasure,
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm
and
just
as you how are you examining it? Let me ask that.
well, I'm gonna like see first of all whether these statues tracked me. Did they?
The statues are not moving.
Cool. And nothing came out of the sarcophagus. So then I'm just
Nope.
kind of
Nope.
look down at the coins and whatever wealth stuff, and if it looks like it's not trapped or anything like that, I'm just gonna grab very quietly, stealthily grab some of those coins and put them in my pouches.
Okay. You reach down to grab a coin. You pick one up. Uh, Give me an investigation check. So
What would I?
technically, you are using the study action to make
Yeah.
an intelligence investigation check.
Plus 0 at this. Roll my Stranger Things dice here. I get an 11.
The candy, the coins are definitely not gold. They are gold foil, uh, possibly a candy inside them. Unfortunately, when you disturb the treasure, the statues, I'm going to move the statue here. Boop, reveal. Come on. Reveal
Oh.
and reveal. Statues come to life.
Yeah. There it is.
And the lid of the sarcophagus opens.
Oh, wow. Good times.
And
Oh.
sitting up out of the sarcophagus is a mummified creature covered in gummy material.
Oh, yeah. I'm
So we'll
gonna.
call it a gummy mummy.
Oh, wow. That's. That hurts.
The
Uh,
the two statues are still made of sort of hard candy covered in coconut.
oh, yeah. That's delicious. Um, I'm gonna try to, as quickly as I can, go like, oh, so sorry. I was trying to be quiet as I cleaned your treasure. It's a new service.
You have disturbed my sleep.
Oh, only to
Prove
clean your treasure.
yourself, prove yourself a hero, and we will talk. And with that, the ice candy, what's that called? Rock candy mephits covered in coconut. Claws come out, and they are
Awesome.
going to attack you.
Love it. Love it.
So
All right.
let's add them to the initiative tracker.
I play in my mind the Mortal Kombat theme song.
And we will roll initiative.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's a 5. That's good. That's what you want.
Well, since you get two, so you're going to be at a 15
Oh, yeah.
and then a 5.
That's good. That makes up for my
So you will
terribleness.
go before and after the the methods in a round. So you go ahead and you tell me what you would like to do.
All right. So they are not adjacent to them. The mummy's sort of watching. So I am going to use. Yeah, I need to save some spell slots, and they're not adjacent to each other. So, but I am next to one of them. That's not good. So I'm gonna hope that my mace does enough damage because it's a higher average attack. I think slightly beneficial. Some of this is my desire to represent Grom as an actual person that hurts me a bit. So you optimizers don't think I don't know. But I'm going to attack, and I'm going to get an incredible 11, Shawn.
An incredible 11 is exactly what you need to hit this method. So
All right.
you are
Here-
set there.
Here comes some bludgeoning damage. It is 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. So you are hitting A. So let me just do my magical. Let's see, damage. 9 damage. Cool. Okay, cool. So you took a little chunk out of that first candy method. It will come back at you with an attack. It has a claw attack that it will swing at you. And I got a 16 to hit.
A 16 is not enough thanks to Grom's armor class of 17.
Okay.
Fortunately.
The second method will move over and take a swing at you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Claw roll. Only a 4 to hit, so you were missed twice.
All right. Okay. Fantastic. I love these odds.
So now now you were taking your second
Mm,
turn this
Oh,
round, and remember you get two actions.
oh yes, I should have had a second attack last time.
Well, take three this time.
All right, there we go. Sweet. So the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna toll the dead on this dude. So they get to make a Wisdom saving throw. DC is only 12.
Okay, so you are attacking the one you damaged before.
I am.
Okay, I will roll a saving throw. That is a wisdom. Or
It is a Wisdom DC 12. Yeah.
okay, saving throw. Roll. I failed.
All right. Let's see.
I
How
got
do
a
I get
6.
the D12 to roll? I don't know. Feel like I had an
Can you
option
click?
before.
If you are you gonna do
Oh, I keep choosing dice that make a lot of noise. Let's see. Whoop, beep, beep. Yep, there we go. I can roll a d12.
I see a 5, or I see that's a D8. Never mind. Okay.
Oh, that's a d12. I
No,
need,
yep.
yeah,
I was
d12.
looking at a previous roll. So you did 4 damage.
I did 4 damage. Really terrible.
Okay. Damage 4. Now you get a second action.
Yep. I will try that again because it's a cantrip. So make a DC 12 wisdom save.
DC 12 is a save. I'm being asked how I like D&D Beyond. Sorry, I'm trying to
Oh,
get out of this. Okay. Another saving throw from the same
I
one
keep rolling the
wisdom.
wrong thing. Let's see. I should just
Roll.
roll.
I got 16 on that
All
wisdom
right.
save.
Nothing happens then. You have.
Okay, take your third action because you
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
take the second action before.
Third action. Grom will mix it up with the mace, trying to crush them. And
Okay.
that is going to be a nice 20 to hit.
That was hit.
And that's going to be 6 points of damage.
Now, it would have had 2 hit points left, but for the sake of say that one took 8 points of damage and died.
Nice.
Awesome. So this
Of
one crumbles into candy, but it explodes,
course.
doing damage to everything nearby.
Ooh, that includes the mummy.
That does. So death burst. So you need to make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Okay. TC 10 Constitution saving throw. I made it. Got a 12.
Yep. So you're going to take half damage. So you take half of 5 is 2.
All right.
Now this is cold damage, and the other method is immune to cold damage. And the mummy takes a bit of damage, but doesn't seem too phased by it. So this method here is no more. I will remove it if I can click correctly. So now we are left with one method. So now we go back to the start of round 2,
Right.
where you get your first turn of the second round.
Okay. So this guy is unhurt.
He
So
has untouched it.
I will start with my mace.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 14 to hit.
That will hit.
That is going to be a delicious 5 points of damage. I mean, it's delicious.
5 damage. It is delicious, and it does take that damage. You can
Basically,
now take
as I'm
second.
carving into it, I'm like trying to eat the chunks that are in the air.
Oh yeah, it's the coconut too. The coconut shavings are flying.
Yeah,
If
some
you
people
like
don't like that
coconut,
coconut mix. We were talking about this at game time the other day, but I'm a big fan. So is Grom.
Well, there you go. You
I
are
will try
getting
tolling
your fill.
the dead now that I found where I
All right.
click on my D12.
Tolling.
Make a Wisdom DC 12.
Oh, that's me. I will roll that here, and I got a 2, so that's definitely a failure.
Sweet.
Roll that beautiful D12.
I'm rolling that go. Oh, that's 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage. So you took your 2 actions on this turn. Now I get to go, and the ice method is going to do its frost breath.
Ooh.
So a spray of cold coconut and candy shards comes
Mm,
out of you,
taste the
or comes
chill.
out of it. You need a Constitution saving throw.
All right. I'm going to open my mouth to try to like freshen my breath, with that. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
21.
Oh, you save easily, so you only take 4 points of the cold, delicious cold damage.
Okay. My temps are down to 7. Good times. It's my turn again.
It is your turn again for 2 actions.
All right. Make me that saving throw.
I will try to make that saving throw. Wisdom. Roll. Oh, a 17 that time.
I try it again. He'll fail this time. I know it.
Boom. Roll. Whoop. Opened up a new screen, but I failed to save with an 8.
Woo! That is going to be 7 points of necrotic
7
damage.
points. It is definitely hurting now, but still up.
Mm-hmm. I can
And it
already
is
tell you I love this
now.
system more.
Yeah. So now that was the end of the round.
Yeah.
So now you get to act at the start
Oh,
of your third round
wait.
with your turn.
You have been a faulty guardian, and I will toll the dead once more.
I will try a wisdom save. A 15 that time.
Yeah. And I say, no, I meant this time. And I try again.
All right. Another. I failed that one.
Yay! I roll the
Yay.
die, and I get 8 points of necrotic to you.
It only had 7 left, so it dies, but like the other one, it explodes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. On save.
Con save, yep.
12.
That's a success. 2d4. Roll dice. I'm going to do it this way this time. 1, 2, roll. 3 points. Half of 3 is 1 point of damage.
All right.
Cold
6
damage.
steps. Still looking live.
All right.
So
The mummy said, well, you have proven yourself worthy. And you can see that some of the explosion has torn part of the gumminess away.
ooh.
And underneath this gummy uh, facade is an actual being.
Oh.
Says, I have been trapped here for a long time, longer than you may have imagined. And as he pulls more of the gumminess away,
Yeah.
you think you recognize this face. It's human,
Oh.
and it looks a little bit like you.
What? Okay.
Or
That's
at least the human parts of you.
oh. Oh, like my dad?
You may not remember me, and you may not have been told the truth
Dad?
about your heritage. Yes, I
I'm
am your
part
father.
gummy too?
Ye- I I don't think so, but I
Oh,
have not
because
seen
that
all
would have
of
been
you.
difficult. That would have involved a lot more therapy than I'm already seeing, just from
I
grandma.
after your mother and I had our fling, I was banished from the land.
Oh.
But you were probably told that your father was someone else, but it was me.
Oh. I go and I hug him through his like gumminess.
Okay, roll another Constitution saving throw.
Hey, ooh, I was so close to a 14. That's a 6.
Yeah, you just all you want is gummy. You just
Yeah.
want to eat.
So I just help him by eating off his gumminess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Or
not
impulse
awkward at
control.
all.
It's the classic father-son reunion story.
Yeah,
You eat their
exactly.
gumminess off of them.
You, son, are on a path that not even you can recognize yet. But you have a destiny. Your destiny is tied to dragons, and your
Oh,
destiny is tied to the orc kingdom that you come from.
Mother, you have given me a gift. This prescient insight. Thank you. Where can I find you in the future?
Well, I have to go back to my homeland, which is far, far away.
Oh, I've heard of it. It was in a movie.
Yes, and
Wait, that
long,
was
long
far,
ago.
far, far, far away.
That's the next town over.
Oh, right. Hmm.
But when you need me most, I will be there.
I cry.
Mm.
I've had to
He
be so
hugs you.
strong.
It's all gross and sticky and saliva
My
all
clothes has
over.
all the like gumminess on it
Yeah.
and like wetness.
Uh-huh.
It's all, I stick to everything now. I love it. Yeah, Grom has a good hard cry fest. He gains 2 points of repaired masculinity, and
Hmm.
I don't know where that's on the character sheet though.
They probably left that off.
Yeah,
That's fourth edition.
60.
Yeah. So you
Fantastic.
have saved your father, who has given you a vision of the future and your destiny.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like empowered. I'm like, I'm going. Let's go to those stairs. Let's find this, bad dude who has been responsible for all this damage. Let's put an end to Nibblecheeks, Uncle Nibblecheeks.
All right. So you go up the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and the stairs come out in a place I'm going to unlock on the map here. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Fog of War, erase.
I see it. Ooh.
Okay. I will move you to the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and right behind you is Asgar.
Careful, Oscar.
And I will reveal I am not. Oh, let's see. And so can you see the entire room?
I can. I can see the room. I see Uncle Nibblecheek and Brioche Bane. And yeah,
There we
you've
go.
cleared it.
Okay, cool. A toothless hag resembling a ghastly green skinned old man in a stained baking apron dashes between pots of boiling sugar and cluttered countertops.
Green
Chocolate
skin.
toads, glittery jars of still fluttering gossamer wings, and other bizarre looking ingredients crowd the work surfaces. In the southwest corner, a staircase made of chocolate planks leads downward. That is what you have just come up.
Mm-hmm.
The kitchen's main feature is a massive wood fired metal oven festooned with rubies. Its hinged door is open, revealing roaring flames. Curled atop the oven lies a gold dragon the size of a large dog. The dragon's eyes look cloudy and white. The hag senses your intrusion, whips around, and says, "Hey, who let you in here?"
Uh, I'm here to for the feeding of Brioche Bane. And
He's
I'm gonna.
mine.
Oh yes, of course.
Oh,
And I'm gonna try to toss a cinnamon bun up at Brioche Bane.
all right. So you pull out a cinnamon roll and you toss it, and Uncle Nibblecheeks watches it arc over his head, and you see Brioche Brain raise his head up. You see a sniff, mouth open, um,
Slow motion, I can
and the
imagine.
eyes that were cloudy are now clear.
Yes.
And Brioche Bane looks around. Oh, great. Now look what you've done.
Phil says hi.
Who's Phil?
Oh, Brioche Bane knows him.
I don't care. Get out of my kitchen. I've got work
No,
to do.
you've been causing trouble and hurting people. You need to mend your ways, or you got it coming to you.
I've got some candy to make.
No, you've been
So
locking people away. That's not cool.
yeah,
You've been
they'll get
having an
over it.
authoritarian regime without a basis of government, with no elections, and other stuff that I don't really understand, but it's bad.
I don't even understand what you're saying.
I don't either, but I know that what
I
you're
am
doing is
the
wrong.
I am the king of this land. Leave now.
Not until you promise to never put another person, force another person into work.
Okay, give me I guess we're going to call it an intimidation check. So
Ooh,
charisma
okay. Let's
intimidation.
see. Grom, intimidation. I'm +1. Highly skilled. That is a 14.
I can't stop what I'm doing. This is my life. But I will let you leave with the dragon and the boy if you leave right now.
But you got to promise you're not going to force anyone else to do your work. You got to pay them.
Fine. I'll pay anybody who works for me.
Okay. I guess we're good with that.
Get out. You're bothering me.
All right. And then
Take this brat back to his sister.
all right, we'll do that.
And you tell her that our deal's still on.
Wait, what deal?
Well, the deal where I send her candy and she sends me people.
Oh, yeah, of course. I knew
All
that.
right.
Oh, man. Showdown number 2. All right. I will leave the place.
All right. Brioche Bane, Asger, and you are able to leave the cottage. Along the way, you see a couple of other strange things. You see a doll, a baby doll with one eye, but it's the size of an ogre.
Oh,
Uh,
good times.
you see some cockatrice that are made of chocolate and turn things into chocolate.
That would have been bad.
Uh, but you are able to escape.
Right.
You make it back to town
Mm-hmm.
with Bubble Asger and Brioche Bane in tow. Where do
Yeah.
you want to go?
I mean, we're going to just walk straight through town and
Mhm.
and head towards Edith's to have a reckoning number 2.
Okay. So Brioche Bane, when you get to the edge of the forest, says, I shouldn't be seen in town because people will get afraid if they see a dragon.
Yeah, you're probably right, but we're going to have to. Here's the thing, like you're going to get bigger and bigger. There's no keeping you a secret. So either the town has to be okay with having you, or you need to be in a different place anyway. You're not gonna be able to hide forever. Why don't you hide for now, and we'll figure it out. You know, you, me, and Phil come up with a plan to introduce you to town. I mean, the good news is you're one of the shiny dragons. Those are the good ones. So you're a good creature.
I am. I am. I
Yeah,
really didn't mean to burn down her house. I was just trying to scare her.
yeah. I do things wrong all the time. It's normal. It's what heroes do.
Well, the heroes burn buildings down.
Heroes try to do good things. All the times have to do mistakes because you can only be but so good. Something like
Well,
that.
then we really are heroes, aren't we?
Yes, we are. This is feeling like real life. Uh-huh.
Okay.
D&D is
So you
therapy, folks.
have that's right. You have Bubble Asger in tow, heading, and you get to the remains of the shop, uh, the candy shop, and
Yeah.
Edith is there, sort of cleaning out what she could salvage out of the candy shop.
Hmm. Hi, Edith.
Oh, oh, you're back. What
Yeah, there's been a lot of uh, I've been learning a lot.
is is that Asgard behind you?
That's Asgar and Uncle Nibblecheeks and I had a talk.
Oh, who's that?
I think you know because you have a deal with him for your candy.
All right. She try starts to try to deny it, sees the strange situation in front of her, including her still alive brother who is made of bubble gum, and breaks
Classic
down.
story.
And admits that it is true that she did cut a deal many, many, many years ago for her life
Mm-hmm.
and the ability to create great candy as well as receive candy from Uncle Nibblecheeks. And in payment, once a month she has to send somebody out into the forest as tribute.
Yeesh, that's rough. Well, I consider canceling her on social media, but instead, I decide that this is going to take a lot of rehabilitation and some real work to make sure she is not on Team Evil. So I ask herself to surrender herself to the authorities, and that I will personally try to do my best to make sure that she's on the path of righteousness.
Okay, she agrees to that. She is more worried about her brother, who
Okay,
does not seem to have aged, but seems to now be bad for your teeth.
he's got a lot of pop in his step, though.
He does. He does. Very bouncy young man.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and so, how about Phil? What do you do with Phil?
So I will pay a visit to Phil, explain to him kind of what happened, that Eve is going through this rehabilitation program, and because we don't have corporate jails in the village, and we will try to uh, I will try to work out with Phil some way by which we try to tell the town about Brioche Bane, because there's just no way that Brioche Bane is going to keep growing. He's going to be a thing. There are already like rumors. And so this is the perfect time. Besides, there's a bubble boy that's going to be in town. And so like the town's about to get weirder. So this is a great time to let everybody slowly know that there is a dragon, start with trusted friends, but it's good. Like this is a dragon that can look out for the town, and gold dragons are good, and I'll help speak on his behalf and so on. But that's my plan I make to Phil.
Mhm. Okay. Phil gives you the promised reward. I believe it was 50 gold pieces, might have been 100. But he thanks you for everything that you've done. He is going to try to figure out a way to incorporate Brioche Bane into the community if both parties are acceptable to that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Awesome.
as you say, things are about to get weird, but that is the end of our adventure.
I like to think of Grom like walking off into the sunset, like Kanan and Kung Fu kind of thing, like just like like the theme song plays, Grom's still finding himself. Made the
Mhm.
world a little bit
There
better,
you go.
maybe.
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 I like it. And
Yeah.
scene.
So Shawn, that was a lot better. I really liked your changes. How long did you work on that? That was pretty good.
Did I work on the ideas for it?
Yeah.
30 seconds.
So that's all it took. All right, good. Well,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
it's a pretty obvious, right? We
yeah.
need the
You
action
made me into
economy.
4 characters, basically, right?
I made you into four characters. It's still for me as the game master not satisfying.
Sure.
Um, but at least I wasn't just
Hmm.
destroying you. Uh, with one character, if there are interesting things for the character to do, it could be fun, but still that goes to adventure design now. It's not something we can simply snap our fingers and say, this is super fun now that you can take four actions. Maybe it's because you're third level. Maybe I need to say you can't do the same action twice on the same turn,
Hmm.
because otherwise it turns into I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I
Right.
hit him, I swing, I swing. So
Yeah.
there's got to be. It might be fun once. It might be fun
Hmm.
with a character that has more options.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But game design wise, we got through it. But
Yeah.
I would want to go back to the well and really look at elegant ways to not change the adventure, but change the character to be playable.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Spell slots is an issue with spellcasters, and it's going to be different for different
Mhm.
classes, right? If you're playing a warlock
Yep,
versus a cleric, 2024
exactly.
versus 2014. Um, if you have a
Any
go ahead.
Yeah, anything that goes on a short rest or a long
Right.
rest where you
Right.
have uses of, you need to adjust.
Yeah, and from a abstract sense, if your damage curve is based on continual use of something, right? Like the monk with,
Mhm.
using your
Yep.
your points, then you then that's an issue, right? But if you have things
Yep.
that work all the time, like the monks deflect attacks now, right? That's where you could get that back because well, you're constantly deflecting attacks and lessening damage. Those kinds of things can be really useful. If you're only, one thing that one-on-one play does is you can't avoid melee range. And a lot of
Right.
classes are designed to
Yep.
be more in the background, right? Grom
Yep.
is fortunate that his AC is really high and he's okay with being up front. His strength is pretty high. But had I been only ranged, the only thing I could have done was saving throw stuff, which is very luck
Right.
dependent because you would be always in melee with me, right? And so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's that kind of
Well, not
interesting.
necessarily. I mean, the extra action you could use to disengage.
That's true. Yep. So I could
So,
disengage and range. Yep.
but you're absolutely right in terms
Mhm.
of that um, thing. So yeah,
Yeah, fun
it's
design challenge, but I think that I think what you did proves that if one were to sit down there and really workshop it, you would eventually arrive at something that would be a lot better than what we started with, right?
and a game like Daggerheart
Hmm.
where the DM has an economy, and I might the problem helps itself because even if you only have two players, as the game master, I only get to act if I spend something,
Mm.
and I get less if there's only two players than I would if there were five. So I
Yeah,
can interrupt with my fear, or I can act when you roll with fear or fail. So
yeah,
if you never fail, uh, you can attack and attack and attack
yeah,
unless I interrupt it with my currency. But
yeah.
D&D doesn't have that in its DNA. So you could try to make
Mm.
something like that, but then again, then you're not necessarily playing 5e.
Yeah. And
Uh,
something I haven't looked at is I've noticed just when I download the PDFs, it's less when I've read the materials. But like, for example, I'm pretty sure Blade Runner has a solo play. And something else I got recently had solo play too. It might have been, I don't know if it was Alien or what it was, but and I haven't tried that. I know that Night's Black Agents has a solo version, but that is its own book to support it.
yeah.
So I don't know if folks have tried those, whether they find that some of these systems, are there some systems out there that, due to the nature of what they are, inherently work better for one-on-one play? I think that'd be interesting to know.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
if we weren't trying to do it with a pre-existing adventure that's not made for solo play, it's
yeah,
a big knot to unravel, but
it is.
um,
Yeah, and I think part of it because I think you did a good job of it in how you role played, and I know my character. I've played this character for many years throughout fifth edition, and I often use it as sort of one of the more interesting characters I have in my quiver of characters. So we were able to play together and have a good, satisfying experience. But if your character does not have much of a personality, doesn't have much of a backstory, and if the adventure itself doesn't lend itself to much, then there's that whole, like, the pillars of play or the different things that scratch itches. Might not be scratching the itch by virtue of
right.
solo play, because one of the things that's happening in D&D is players role playing with each other and
Mhm.
creating shenanigans
Right.
and fun for each other, right? Like, if I think of my current Pirate Board campaign, and if it was just me, we wouldn't have
Yep.
half the fun we have, because the fun is
Sure.
this intersection of all these characters doing these absurd things
Yep.
together that lead to all this fun, right? And same thing in Daggerheart, right? Everybody's backstory and stuff, that all clicks together. So solo play or one-on-one play has to make up for that and create the fun.
Mhm.
And I think you and I showed that a bit, but you have to lean into it and be good at that. And that's, if the adventure doesn't provide you with the raw material, it's a lot harder. And so then it might not be very satisfying unless you essentially want to be playing Hero Quest and move pieces on the board into attacking and whatever.
Right. Exactly. All right.
Hmm.
Well, that I hope folks shows you a little bit about D&D maps, about Dungeon Delve, about solo and one-on-one play. We hope you've enjoyed it. I know I did, and I want to thank everyone out there for listening. I want to thank our patrons as well. We have Master of Dungeons supporters. Thank you so much. We have Master of Realms supporters who have a shout out here in our show notes. And we have Masters of the Multiverse. Those include Agile Monk of Fantasy Companion Workshops, Keith Ammon of The Monsters Know What They're Doing, Lou Anders of Lazy Wolf Studios, Craig Bailey, Rudy Chainsaw Basso, Dave Bastiensen, Derek the Bearded GM, Steve Bissonette, Merrick Blackman, Bosjan from Duality Press, Calvin Bridges Avalos, Robo Ballin, Kevin Criswell, Dead Inertia DM, Evil John, Evan at Nimbleco, Will Doyle, Andy Edmonds at NerdRonomicon.com, James Fisher, Vidwelcles G, Scott Fitzgerald Gray at Insane Angel Studios, Ben Heisler and Paige Lightman, Sean Hurst, Hyperlexic, The Jaunty Mantis TTRPG Podcast, Mark and Mary's Gaming Compound, The Mighty Jerd, JR of the Twilight Perspective, JT Evans, Brian King, Jim Klingler, Gail Cormandy, Chad Lynch, Paul Mata, The Mathemagician, Jaron from Mathis Arcanum, Eric Mengi, Anna B. Meyer of the Fantasy Cartography, Trey McLemore, John Mickey, Sean Molly, Falcon Neal, Tom Nelson, creator of the Deck of Player Safety, DT Norris of DT and Dragons, Phil Wirt from the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo, Philip and Lindsay, Frog Prince at Tentacle Squelching Wetly, Post Fiction RPG Audio, Ricardo Who Might Adventure, Robert Pasley, Vladimir Prenner from Croatia, Ozymandias Rex, Runner Rick, Chance Russo at Drago Russo, Andy Shockney, Krishna Simosa, Tim Smith, Spark from Dunner Games, Jeff Stevens at jeffstevensgames.com, Josh and Liwanika of the Tabletop Journeys podcast, Talos the Stormlord, Jeremy Talloman from the D&D and TV podcast, Trace, Ryan Schrook, Joe Tyler, Marcelo de Velasquez, the Valiant DM, James Walton, Graham Ward, Jason Ward from Accidental Cyclops Games, Javier Waziak, Waterford Wizard, Chris Webster, Zach Types, and Z. Walt Winfrey. Thank you all for your support. If you would like to become a supporter, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/masteringdnd. We appreciate all the help that you all give us. If you can't support us via our Patreon, that's okay. Leave us a review wherever you listen to the podcast. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@masteringdungeons. You get to see our beautiful faces and you help us out that way. Teos, what have you been up to?
Ooh, I just put out a video showing my new craft project where I crafted a special DM screen edition for use with Draw Steel. Where I've got little like magnet linked flip things that I can flip the different characters as they take their turns or my monster groups.
Nice.
And I got to try it out in recent games. It's been awesome. So I shared how I crafted that. It was also one of those projects that amazingly went well. Like I did not have to go to the store again, and it did not cost a lot.
Or the hospital.
Or the hospital, yes. And I used a hacksaw and still didn't bleed. So it was all fantastic.
Awesome. Well, you can find me on the socials at Shawn Merwin, and you can follow the podcast on the socials at Mastering D&D. Again, you can go to our Mastering Dungeons YouTube channel and do the like and comment and subscribe and all of that. So we have finished our one-on-one/solo play. So what are we going to do now?
Eat candy till we puke.
I was going to say, I'm going to go get me some gummy stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.